If you clicked on this video looking for a one-stop shop for how this guy has drafted and signed and traded up for different quarterbacks since he's been in the National Football League, well, dandy, you've come to the right place. I found an article on the Las Vegas Review-Journal by our boy Vinny Bonsignor. If you haven't read it, we're going to read it together. I'm going to stop every now and again to give my takes on exactly what I think about Tom Telesco and our plans to trade up to take a quarterback, because this guy has had a long history of making moves and drafting people. We're also going to get into what it's going to take to move up. And listen, this is all stuff that you guys know. I'm not trying to just give you the same Raider video that a bunch of different content creators put out there. I'm not knocking those people. Everyone wants to give their opinion, and that's what I'm doing. I'm giving my opinion on all this. So as much as this is informational, it is also a take by me that I think you care enough about. I feel like you've clicked on my face, so that says a lot about your character and your mindset. Let's read together, react, and discuss. If Tom Telesco's past offers clues about his future, expect the Raiders' new general manager to be aggressive in bringing a top-level quarterback in this offseason. Already a great start, Vinny. I love what I'm hearing. I mean, that's what we want to hear, right? That's maybe why he got the edge over Champ Kelly, because maybe you get a phone call from Tom Telesco, you're more likely to answer and discuss if it is him because you have a history with him rather than a new one like Champ Kelly. I get it. I love Champ, but I get it. The four teams Telesco worked for before taking over the Raiders settled for nothing less. And with the Raiders holding the 13th pick in the NFL draft, it seems likely they will explore trading up to get a quarterback they deem a potential difference maker. Stop right now. Comment below. Who is that for you? Is it Caleb? Is it Drake? Is it Penix? Is it Jaden? Is it McCarthy? Is it Rattler? You tell me. Drop the comments right now. Who's it going to be that we're going to trade up for, we're going to settle for, blah, blah, blah. Recent history proves the surrounding significant draft capital to move up to select a high-level quarterback is a worthy approach. Just ask the Kansas City Chiefs, who sent 2 first-round picks and a third to the Buffalo Bills to move from 27 to 10. They moved up 17 spots to draft Patrick Mahomes in 2017. Ask people around me when that happened. I lost my mind because I thought Patrick Mahomes was going to be good, and I didn't know he'd be this good. Didn't know he'd be this good. The Rams, who traded 6 draft picks, 2 firsts, 2 seconds, and 2 thirds to move it from 15 to 1 to draft Jared Goff. At the time, maybe he looked like it was going to be a bust, even though he played in the Super Bowl, but it turns out Jared Goff, pretty solid quarterback. The Eagles, who sent 2 firsts, a second, a third, and a fourth to the Browns to move from 8 to 2 to pick Carson Wentz in 2016. I would love to see who the Browns took with all those picks, because it feels like they didn't hit a single one of those. Finally, the Bills, who traded who traded a first and 2 seconds to move from 12 to 7 to draft Josh Allen in 2018. What a trade by the Buffalo Bills. So there you go. We haven't seen anyone go from where we are to the top 3, but that shows you kind of a baseline of what it's going to take. Those teams have combined to appear in every single Super Bowl since 2017 and won 5 titles overall. The Bills have not reached the Super Bowl, but Allen has led Buffalo to at least the divisional round of the playoffs for 4 straight seasons. The 49ers, most recent swing and miss candidates, have survived the hit they took in 2021. They traded 3 firsts. This is probably what it's going to take. Listen up here. They traded 3 firsts and a third to the Dolphins to move from number 12 to number 3 to select Trey Lance. And I'm pretty sure the Dolphins turned a lot of those picks into Tyreek Hill, so big time yikes. Lance struggled with his injuries and was ultimately traded to Dallas, but the 49ers remained one of the best teams in the league, having just lost the Super Bowl. All thanks to Brock Purdy. So maybe Aiden O'Connell could be our Brock Purdy. Couple all that history with Telesco's past. Here we go. As a front office intern in Buffalo, from 1991 to 1994, Telesco watched Jim Kelly, who was selected with the number 14 overall pick, go to 4 straight Super Bowls. Wide right. Buffalo Bills happen again this year. Yikes. Telesco's Bills mentor, Bill Polian, brought him to Carolina, helped them run an expansion Panthers team in 1995. They used the franchise's top pick to select a Penn State quarterback. Hello, alumni, shout out. I went there. Kerry Collins. The Panthers reached the NFC Championship game. Telesco followed Polian to Indianapolis in 1998, the year I was born. That doesn't say that in the article. It'd be kind of weird if it did say that. The Colts used the #1 pick on Peyton Manning. Telesco's final season in Indy was 2012. The Colts drafted Andrew Luck. So right now you're seeing that he knows that you have to find your guy in the draft, which is very important. And he's had mentors like Bill Polian, and he's had players like Jim Kelly and Andrew Luck and Peyton Manning to see who you need to get in the quarterback position and what attributes they need to have to be successful in the National Football League. Philip Rivers was already in place when Tom Telesco assumed the control of the Chargers in 2013, but the offseason Rivers left. Telesco used the #6 pick overall to draft Justin Herbert, and I think he was pretty right about that. Those teams did not have to trade up to draft their future quarterback, but Telesco knows winning at a high level in the NFL typically starts with having a great player under center. And here's where we get into the prospects. This year, 3 prospects have separated themselves in a deep quarterback class: Caleb Williams, Drake May, and Jaden Daniels. They are expected to be taken with the first 3 picks, those picks being held by the Bears, the Commanders, and the Patriots. The Bears are the catalyst here. Here's what it says. Will the Bears keep Justin Fields or trade him? If they hold on to Fields and trade the top pick, the Raiders are expected to be involved. A more likely scenario involves the 3rd pick, which the Patriots are reportedly open to trading. I really do think Justin Fields is going to end up with the Patriots. If the Raiders are open to any of the top 3 prospects, at this point, the consensus is #3, Jaden Daniels. They will be in the mix. What would it take for that to happen? Nothing less than the 49ers haul they gave it for Trey Lance, so 3 firsts and a 3rd. The Raiders could stand pat and hope J.J. McCarthy is available. But with the quarterback needy Vikings and Broncos drafting directly ahead of them, can the Raiders afford to hope McCarthy is still there, especially if they are convinced he's a top-level prospect? Potential trade partners in this scenario includes the Giants at #6 and the Titans at #7. The Falcons at #8 could also be willing to make a trade if they acquire Fields from the Bears. So, here's what we know about Tom Telesco. He has seen time and time again his superiors move up to get the guy who has shaped the league for years to come. Jim Kelly, Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck if he stayed in the league. I wonder how many Super Bowls Patrick Mahomes would have if Andrew Luck never retired. It's an interesting thought. He also, when he was the general manager, is 1-for-1 in drafting quarterbacks with Justin Herbert. Now, you could say, well, Herbert fell into his lap, blah, blah, blah. I know there was a big debate between Tua and Herbert. I think the jury's still out, but I think as of right now, he's picked definitely the more talented quarterback. Tua, I think, has won more games. I don't know if you blame Herbert for the losses, blah, blah, blah. Could be a little overrated. He's still a very good quarterback. I do believe we're going to trade up to 3. I think that's the most likely scenario, and I think that they're working heaven and earth to try to get the best deal possible. And I think we're going to have Jaden Daniels as our quarterback, the Heisman Trophy winner who just threw 40 touchdowns. Is he going to turn into Justin Herbert in terms of being as successful as that? Only time will tell. I think he's going to take a little bit of time to develop, but I'll be honest with you, I've already resigned to the fact that he is going to be our quarterback, and I don't see a scenario in which AP doesn't let that happen. So my question to you is that something that excites you? Comment below, let me know, and before you head on out of here, follow the link in the description below to the Patreon. It's only if you have the means to support the channel a little bit further, but it's not you support me for nothing. I'm giving you early access to every video I post. Sometimes it's days early, ad-free content, your name at the end of the credits because you become an executive producer of the ALLaBorde Raiders show, YouTube channel, Madden subscriber league, Discord access. There's another burp. All things that you could have with one click of a button if you sign up at patreon.com/ALLaBorde Raiders. If, of course, you have the means, check it out. It's a small fee. It's basically nothing. If you can't, if you don't want to, that's okay. You're doing just enough by watching my videos. We're trying to get to 6,000. We got to 5,000 subs. Let's get to 6,000. Subscribe. It is free after all, no charge to you. I love you guys, and I will see you next time.